I'm Nancy Drew. Anyway,
Hi,
here's my
I'm
center of
Arglefumph.
operations,
This is a
my
death
deck.
percent speedrun for Nancy Drew, the creature of Kapu Cave. The idea is that I'm trying to reach a death scene as quickly as possible, but it's not very quick with this particular game. It takes about 15 minutes. I got to the death in 14 minutes and 42 seconds, and I'm pretty sure I screwed up in several places. You can get to the death slightly faster. Either way, it is going to be a while before you reach that death. Why is it the case? Well, there's no death scenes at the start of the game. You start off the game as Nancy at Big Island Mike's. And there's not a whole lot you can do at Big Island Mike's. Basically, you meet the Hardy Boys, you meet Mike, and you make a necklace. That's all Nancy does. And it takes a while. There are no death scenes there. Later on in the game, there's a death scene. You can drown while snorkeling, but I think you can only do that as Frank, because he's the one who gets snorkeling equipment. Nancy can't get snorkeling equipment because Pua's not here in this opening section.
If you're looking for a real deal Hawaiian vacation, you got off at the right spot.
So we start with this longish conversation with Big Island Mike.
You sign up with Big Island Mike, you'll live like a real Hawaiian. Work like they work.
You want to select the correct conversation options to make the conversation go as quickly as possible.
Sounds good, but
see, I'm like a tailor. Only I don't make clothes, I make vacations.
As usual for Nancy Drew games, the characters tend to say the exact same things no matter which conversation option you pick, because it's the start of the game, and he's basically just explaining how the game works. Right now he's explaining his Big Island Bucks program.
You'll have a good time doing it, I'll make sure. In fact, I've got a couple of guys staying here about your age. They're from the mainland too. I got those boys surfing, shelling, fishing, snorkeling, everything. You sign up, you'll do everything too.
It's interesting
Maybe
he
even
says
at the
he's
same
got
time
them
as them,
snorkeling when he
Sounds
doesn't,
interesting,
like
but
Frank
I'm
has
just
to
here
get
to
a
pick up
bunch
some
of Big
parts.
Island Bucks in order
my
to go
name's Nancy
snorkeling.
Drew.
Oh, you're the wahine who's going to be working up there in the rainforest.
He's mostly got them
with Dr.
surfing
Kim
right
studying
now.
bugs.
Don't worry, we won't actually get to the point where
I hope
we
so. I
switch
think
from
bugs are
Nancy to
really
the Hardy
interesting.
Boys.
Better
So let me
to be
get back
working
to
for
what I
Dr.
was talking
Kim than up
about.
at the Hilihili.
Well, with this
That
game,
doctor
we
there,
start
he
off in
makes
the
people mess
area
with
of
stuff
Big
way
Island
worse
Mike,
than
and
bugs.
Nancy has to
What
make
kind of
him a
stuff is he
necklace, and
doing?
then she gets to
Nobody
go
knows.
to the
Big
forest.
mystery. People
So
who
then
work at
Nancy's
Hilihili,
going to
they
go
never
to
stay
Dr.
long.
Quigley's
And when
camp,
they
and she's
leave,
going to solve
they
the
don't
puzzle of opening
Well,
the
I should
trunk
probably
that
get
gives
going.
her
Dr.
the
Kim
hook
arranged for you
so
to use
she
one
can
of my
fix
rigs.
the
Not the
winch.
key
That
right
way
here,
she can
but
fix
you
her
know what?
car
I'm
and
not
drive
gonna
to the
give it to you.
Hilihili Center.
You're not.
Then
A
she's
Big
going to go to
Island Mike
Dr. Craven
immersion
using the
excursion
pass,
beats
which she
chasing
got from
bugs
the
around
trunk.
jungle any
That
day.
lets her
And
talk
to
to
prove
Dr.
it,
Craven.
I'm not
If you
gonna
try
give
to
you the
go
key
there
until you go to the
earlier,
beach,
they
collect
won't
some
let you
shells,
inside.
and
The
make a
person at
necklace
the
for
gate
me.
will just say,
You can put
go
the shells
away,
you find
go
in
away.
here.
Just back up your
Make me
car
an aloha
and
necklace.
leave.
There's a picture
Which
of
is a
it
very
over at the
rude thing
necklace
for that
making
person
table.
to say.
But I really think I should go meet
So
Dr.
then you
Kim
have a
like I'm
long
supposed
conversation
to.
with Dr. Craven,
the necklace?
much like this
I give you the
conversation where
key.
you have to
Only
select
know
the
what?
fastest
You're not gonna want it
conversation
anymore.
options
You're
possible.
gonna walk on the beach, look for shells.
Then you're gonna go to the
sit,
greenhouse. You're
string
gonna
them.
go
You're
inside
gonna
the
get so
greenhouse
relaxed.
5
You're gonna
times in a
come
row.
back in here and say,
I'm surprised
"You
that's a
were
death
right,
scene.
Big
I had no
Island
idea
Mike.
that it was
Get
actually a
the
death scene when
doctor
you go into
signed
the
me up.
greenhouse
You'll
5
see.
times in a row. As you'll see, I mean, this happens at the very end of the video, so it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be like 12 minutes before we get there.
Hello?
But when you go inside the greenhouse
Ned, hi.
5 times in a
Perfect
row,
timing. I
the
just
person
got here. In
inside
fact, I'm
yells
on
the
the
same
beach.
thing at you
bug
every
doctor's
single
on the
time.
No,
So,
I
you
have
know,
to
like
collect
after
shells
4
and make a
tries, I'm like,
necklace
oh,
before I
well,
get
you
the
just
key
can't go
she's
into the
left for me.
greenhouse.
It's a
I had
long
no idea
story.
there was actually
Well, I
a
wish I
death
could be there
scene
with you.
there.
Believe me, it's done nothing but rain non-stop since I dropped you off
So
at
I'm
the
told the
airport.
discovery
Guys,
of that
it's
death
this
scene
constant
was
shade of
a
gray.
good thing
It'd
for
be
people who
depressing
do
even
these
with
death
you
percent
here.
runs,
With you not
because
here.
it allowed them to reach
Oh
the
my
first death of the
gosh,
game as
you're
quickly
not
as
gonna believe
possible.
This, but Frank and
I
Joe
think
Hardy are here.
outside of that,
Are
the
you sure?
next
Positive.
death of the
Hey,
game
listen,
is
I'll call you later, okay?
probably
Bye.
Nancy?
messing up
What
on
are you doing
fertilizing
here?
Dr.
I just got here.
Dr.
I'm going
Craven's
to be
plants.
helping
I'm
this
told that's a death
entomologist
scene.
dad
I haven't
who's about
gotten it
field
yet.
work for the
I'll
next
have
2
to
weeks.
replay the
What are
game
you
someday
guys
and
doing
purposely
here?
try to
We got
get
here yesterday.
that
Believe it or
death
not,
scene.
we're on assignment. Joe, keep it down. Richard Akins, the CEO of Akins Biotech?
I guess
He hired us
the
to do
next
kind
death
of a
scene would
background
be
check on
definitely
Pua
the
Mapu and her father,
snorkeling
Mike
one,
Mapu.
though. Like,
She's an up-and-coming world-class surfer.
what you
He
do
runs
is
a
you
local
play
business
to the
called
point
Big
where
Island
you
Mike's
get
Immersion
control of Frank
Excursions.
Hardy,
No kidding.
and
I'm
then
supposed to pick up a
you
car at Big
would,
Island Mike's.
and then you go snorkeling.
What does this Akins
And
guy
that'd
need
be-
a background check for?
That'd be
He's thinking
okay,
about using
because
Pua in
what
the
will
ad
you do
campaign for one of his
if
products.
that
He
was
wants
the
to
death
make
you
sure
were
there
going
aren't
for?
any
If you're going for the
skeletons in either
snorkeling
of
death
Mapu's
as the
closets
first death,
before he makes her an offer.
you do this
See, she
opening
teaches
scene as
surfing for her
Nancy,
dad. We signed
then
up
you'd
for
go
one of
into
his
the
immersion
forest,
excursions
then
so
you'd
we could get to know her
immediately
and make
switch
sure
over
she's
to
as
Joe
sneaky
Hardy,
clean as
do
she
Joe
seems.
Hardy's
Akins
things,
figured someone who
then
was
you get
closer
sent
to
back
her
to
own
Nancy,
age
then
could find out a lot
immediately
more
switch
than some
over to
private
Frank,
investigator.
and then
So you were
you'd
basically hired a
then you'd
vacation
get the
in Hawaii
snorkeling death.
and
But
learn
of
how
course,
to
you'd have
surf.
to get a
Is
lot
that
of
what
Big
you're
Island
saying?
bucks in
Don't
order to
worry.
get the
As soon as
snorkeling
the
equipment
opportunity
first.
presents itself, we'll be doing some hardcore snooping too.
Yeah, Akins wants
Yeah,
us to
so
make sure
I
Mapu's
mean, if
business
you're
is also
first,
squeaky clean.
if the death
guy
you're
never
going
leaves his
for
office.
is
So far,
the
he's made imaging
snorkeling
fluid
death,
paperwork
then you
impossible.
try to play
So
as
you're doing
Nancy
fieldwork for an entomologist?
Just me
as
and
little
Dr.
as
Kim and a
possible.
couple
It'd
thousand
mostly
of our
be
closest
a Hardy
insect-type
Boy-centric
friends
run.
out there in the jungle.
In this case,
watch out for Kane
the faster
Ocala.
death
Oh,
is the one
Joe.
inside Dr.
Watch out for
Craven's,
who?
and
Kane
so
Ocala. That's
it's
Hawaiian
going to
for
be
rough-skinned
a
man.
non-Hardy
He's this
Boys
legendary
run. I'm
guy
not
who
going to
got
play as the
ass
Hardy
burned up in
Boys
a
at all
volcano
during
a
this
millennium or
speedrun.
two ago, and now whenever something really bad happens on
In
the
fact,
island,
it feels like I'm not
people
going to
start
play at
saying
all
they've seen it
because,
in the
oh my
jungle.
gosh,
He doesn't like people messing with
we're
his
6
island,
minutes
see,
in,
so he
and
goes on
the
these
characters are
rampages.
still talking.
Apparently, his temper
We're
is as
still
nasty
learning
as
what the
his complexion.
storyline of the
And there have
game
been a lot of
is.
sightings lately, probably because of the pineapples.
What's wrong with the pineapples?
The pineapples have been growing so poorly on this part
And
of the
everybody
island. People
agrees
say they're
that they
related
do
to the
not
local
like
crop
the way
this
the
year.
Hardy Boys
Nobody
look
can
in
say
this
why.
game. Frank and
Although I'm willing
Joe.
to bet this Kane Ocala
Oh.
guy could.
Joe.
If he really existed, which of course he does not. Happy, Frank?
I mean,
Well,
Joe
I better
definitely
get
needs a
going.
better
Good luck,
looking
you guys.
t-shirt
I have my cell
and a
phone, so
different
keep in touch.
hairstyle.
You too. In
Like,
fact, if
he's
there's
got a
anything you
comb
need out
over
there,
and
Food,
it just doesn't look
toiletries,
good.
monster repellent.
Call us anytime, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so here I'm going to
bye.
play
Bye.
as
See you,
Nancy, and you need to pick up every shell. I accidentally went forward when I wasn't supposed to, which is sad. But the shells are always in the same spot at the very start of the game. So yeah, I meant to grab this first thing. But I accidentally stepped forward instead. So that was a mistake on my part. This is not a perfect run. I did make
Big Island Mike
mistakes.
told me to. Ah, here we go. So what shells
And now
do
you
I
get to
need?
make an aloha necklace. The shells, I don't really like the necklace making in this game. I mean, this is a fine puzzle, but I don't really like searching the beach for shells because they're not really there. It takes forever to find enough shells to make any particular necklace. It is possible
They're
here at the start
beautiful.
of the game
I'll
to
just
make
give this
more
to
than
Mr.
one
Mappo
necklace.
And be on my way.
And if you do, you get a slightly different bit of dialogue. Big Island Mike says something like, "I'll take all the
You
necklaces,"
finished the necklace.
as opposed to,
It's right
"I'll
there,
just
and
take
it's
this
gorgeous
necklace."
if I do say so myself. In fact, I'd kind of like to keep it.
Sorry. My idea, my necklace. But the rig key is yours.
That's
Thank
such
you.
a mean
Hey,
move on his
one more
part.
thing.
To
Kane
force
Ocala.
Nancy to make a necklace, and then he
rough-skinned guy?
steals it
What
from
about him?
her,
It's the
and
people
he's
at
probably
Hilihili.
going to
They're
sell it
doing
to
something
tourists
that
for
Kane Ocala
real
doesn't like.
bucks,
That's
not
why he's
these
back.
fake Big
People that say
Island
he's just a
bucks.
legend, don't believe them.
I'll remember that.
It's like
really.
definitely not a
Hope I
good
don't
person
regret
to
this.
leave your
The
car
rig's out
keys
front.
with.
Got a GPS system and everything. The location of Dr. Kim's camp's already programmed in.
All right,
Well,
so
it
now we
was
leave
nice
and then
meeting
go
you.
off into the
Mahalo.
forest. And as I said, well, we're gonna have more scenes here. You can watch these scenes if you really want. We're just going straight to Camp Quigley. You have to visit Camp Quigley in order to get the access pass for the Hilihili. That's the reason why we're going to Camp Quigley right now. It'd be nice if somebody could find a skip which allowed us to get into the Hilihili early. That would be cool, but I doubt that is possible.
Stuck in a ditch. Great.
That's because when you first go to the
Hopefully Dr. Kim will be able
Hilihili,
to
you
help
have
me
this
get it out.
argument with Dr.
Uh-oh.
Craven, and
Sounds
Dr.
like I missed a
Craven
call.
mentions the
Lovely.
pass. He's like,
Nancy Drew,
"Where did you get that
Police
pass?" So
available.
I think you
At
really
the
do
tone,
have to get the
please leave a
pass to
message.
get inside the Hilihili.
Hi, Nance, it's Joe.
Just because there's a
Listen,
conversation
Big
centered
Island Mike
around
heard on
it.
the radio that the bridge on the road
But
to
hey,
that
you know,
bug lady's
maybe
camp
it's
is washed
possible.
out.
Who knows?
So I
You
hope
can
get
leave a
the
comment
message
on
before
this
you get to
video,
Rockaway, because if you've already crossed
letting
the
me
bridge,
know if there
it
is a
sounds like you won't be
faster
able to
way to
back
get to
into
the
town for a couple of
Hilihili.
days.
And then I'll probably have to redo this video, get a better speedrun time.
Just holler. Take care.
I did
So, on top
practice
of being
this
stuck in a ditch,
3
I'm
times in a
stranded
row.
the
So I
jungle.
did 3
Well,
attempts.
At least I'm not alone.
I'll have a
I mean,
link
I
in
won't be
the
when I
show
find Dr.
notes,
Kim.
this
Oh my
video
gosh,
description,
this place is a mess.
to the video of me
And
practicing
where's
this
Dr.
speedrun.
Kim? A tape recorder. There's a
But
tape
I
in
only did it 3
Looks like it
times.
needs to be
I only
rewound.
did 3 attempts at the speedrun, and then I stopped because it's like 15 minutes. So, here you want to listen to the 4th thing. You don't have to listen all the way through. I didn't mean to click on the case journal there, so that's a mistake. If you eliminate
Kim,
that
are you
mistake,
here?
you can get a faster time than me.
Anybody here?
Let's see if I get any other
Dr.
mistakes.
Kim?
I think another mistake is I just have a hard time opening
I've got a bad feeling
the
about this.
trunk. I mean, it's not too bad, but like I always forget you need to
Interesting
second
lock.
click on the lock. Oh, actually, yeah, I think I opened this lock pretty well. That's a pretty fast lock opening speed.
Malachi Herbert Craven.
Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I'll just leave a link to my practice video in the description of this video. Did a live stream, only did it 3 times, and then this was the fastest of the 3 times because I'm pretty sure I messed up on my first and second attempts.
Okay.
So this
What else
was
do we
my
have in
best
trunk?
attempt, but it's not
A
my best
security
ever
pass for the
attempt. That's what
Hilihili
I'm trying to
Research
say
Center.
here.
Maybe someone there knows where Dr. Kim is.
Okay, now we just escape here. I should have clicked. I should have done like a
can't go
triple
anywhere
click
until I get
backwards.
this
That would have
thing
been
out of the
faster.
ditch.
Accidentally
A
clicked on the
winch.
car there, which is a time waster because Nancy talks about the ditch instead of immediately leaving. Okay, and then I have to use the hook over here. I always find like the controls with the hook and the winch to be a little bit tough. I'm not sure, but I wish there was a way to like really zoom in and do it
There,
really
it's
quickly.
out of the
But
ditch.
I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I'm just bad at video games, which is probably what happened. Yeah. Okay, so we have the pass. Now we're gonna go see Dr. Craven. It's gonna be a whole long conversation. So there are 2 ways to get inside. The faster way is to simply just swipe the card.
All right, lady. Hold it right there.
Probably shouldn't have done that.
The other
Who
way
are you?
is to
Where did
press
you get
the
that
assistance
pass?
button and
I'd
then
rather
tell the
not say
person you
until
have
you
the
tell me
card,
who
and
you
then
are.
he's like, hold it right
Malachi
there.
Craven, of course.
Because
I'm
that
the
card
head of
was
this
reported
facility.
stolen.
Now, what were you doing with that pass?
I found it.
So there are many variations
At
of
Dr.
this
Kim's
long
base camp.
conversation
My
with
name is
Dr.
Nancy
Craven.
Drew.
This is
I'm
the
Dr.
faster
Kim's
one where
temporary research
Nancy just sort of
assistant.
talks to
Today's
him
my
for a
first
while.
day.
And
I have
as
that pass
as you'll
because
see
when
when
I
we're at the
arrived,
end of the
Dr. Kim's base
conversation,
camp was
we
all
skipped
torn up,
some of
and
the
I couldn't find
conversation
her anywhere.
options. Like,
So I went searching
why
through
does
her
he
stuff
think
for something
Dr.
that might
Kim
tell me where
stole
she
that
is.
pass?
I thought that since she had
we'll
that
hear
pass,
about it
someone here
like
could
right
tell me
now,
where
so I'll
she
be
is.
quiet for a bit.
Well, you thought wrong. And for your information, that pass was reported missing. She probably stole
Okay,
it
so you
weeks
see
ago.
our conversation
You think
option.
Dr. Kim stole
Oh,
it?
Oh, use your brain. This is a private research facility
Now I'm
with highly
confused.
restricted access. Of course she stole it.
All right,
in this
that's
final
enough.
conversation, we will
Excuse
have a
me?
conversation
You're
option
jumping all over me
about
when the only thing I did
Dr.
to you
Kim
was tell you the
stealing the
truth.
pass.
I
But,
know who you are, Dr.
I
Craven.
thought
know
I
you're
saved
an
time by
incredibly gifted
skipping it.
scientist whose work has never been fully appreciated.
Now Nancy's just
In fact,
regurgitating
as an
all the
amateur
facts she learned about this
horticulturist,
guy
I would give
from
anything to know
Dr.
what
Kim's
you're doing with
notes.
the plants in here. But being a genius does not give you the right to be rude.
Oh, I'm sorry, young lady.
All right,
Everything you
now
just
she's
said
going to
is
mention
quite
his
correct.
blog.
The genius part rings
No,
particularly true.
she talks about the science
How do
freak.
you
If
know
she talks about the
about me?
blog, he brags
I read a
about
lot.
how awesome
Like I
his
said,
blog
I'm
is.
kind of a
And
science
so it's
freak.
faster
If
to
you're interested
not
in
have him brag
horticulture,
about himself.
Why are you assisting an entomologist?
In this case,
Well, bugs and
you
plants do
pick the
kinda
shorter
go hand in
sentence
hand.
because it takes
And when
less
I
time
heard there
for
was a
Nancy
free
to say
round-trip
it.
ticket to Hawaii involved.
Okay, and here's the conversation
Smart
list.
girl.
See,
I
I
still
skipped
need to find Dr.
skipped
Kim,
2
so
conversations
I better
about
go.
Dr.
Marvelous
Kim.
idea.
So it's not like 100% obvious, and I messed up the navigation there. What you need to do is right turn to get away from there instead of U-turning.
Darn it.
But yeah, I did skip several conversations. Not several, just 2 conversations about Dr. Kim while talking to Dr. Craven. So here it is. You rush downstairs. You go inside like 5 times in a row, and you notice it's like, well, this doesn't seem like it's a death scene. It's just the same thing over and over.
Warnings, you are out of here.
I'm busted.
But yeah, you do it 5 times in a row, and it's definitely a game over. So thank you very much for watching my video. That is how I got to the first death of the game as quickly as possible. I hope that, you know, someday someone will find a faster death scene, a faster way to get to the first death of the game. But I'm not entirely sure that's possible. As I said, please leave a comment if you have some idea of how to reach this death sooner.